What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today we've got another live fantasy football mock draft for you back on ESPN with a 12-team full PPR mock where we will be selecting 12th overall. Last pick should be really interesting. And while we wait for this thing to kick off, a quick reminder, if you enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. Let us hear it in the comment section, your thoughts along with any questions you guys might have. We'll do our best to answer them all. But with that being said, let's dive into it. The first pick has been made. As you can see right here, it is Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to pull up the pick history so we can kind of keep track of it this way since there's no draft board. But I imagine we're going to see CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill be drafted here shortly. I'm a big Brees/Bijan fan, and speak of the devil, Bijan goes at the 102. So 2 running backs back to back. I love to see that personally. Brees Hall, I imagine, will follow shortly. And, I think we're going to see a scenario where we have 3 out of the first 5 picks be running backs. I personally support that. I think McCaffrey, Bijan, and Brees Hall are all very possibly, going to finish as the number 1 overall running back. They all have the potential to do that. Now, I personally have Christian McCaffrey in his own tier, but not far behind are Bijan and Brees Hall. And then afterwards, you have the likes of Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, and Jahmyr Gibbs. But, this thing is kind of picking up. The first 5 picks are in the books. After McCaffrey and Bijan, you see Tyreek, Jamar Chase, and CeeDee Lamb. Chase and Lamb dealing with some contract issues, but, as of right now, nothing major. Then Amon-Ra St. Brown. Brees at the 107 seems like a great value pick there. And there goes Justin Jefferson at the 108. I feel like Justin Jefferson might have picked up some hype with the play of McCarthy in the preseason, but then obviously with McCarthy going down for the entirety of the year, now it's going to be Sam Darnold. So, I think probably his ADP stays where it's been, which is right around 7, 8, something like that. If you can get him at the end of the last round, I guess that's good value, but I just think there's some better options. So here we were just sniped on Garrett Wilson. He would have been my pick, and I would have immediately gone Garrett Wilson and Jahmyr Gibbs. But instead, we're going to go with A.J. Brown. He's my next highest ranked wide receiver. And now I will go with another high upside pick, specifically at the running back position. That is Jahmyr Gibbs. Yes, Jahmyr Gibbs has the hamstring, but, as of right now, the expectation is he shouldn't miss time. And honestly, with our first 2 picks, we went Brown, we went Jahmyr Gibbs. Again, this is why I really like the end of the first round in terms of selections. I feel like we got a really good, strong duo, both guys that, maybe with A.J. Brown, top 10 upside. But Jahmyr Gibbs has the top 5 upside at the running back position. Again, it's full PPR. And even though he tweaked that hamstring, nothing super concerning as of right now. If something comes out, stating otherwise, then obviously we update our rankings. Then afterwards, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, who's also dealing with a little bit of a nagging injury. That's why you've seen the ADP likely for Cooper Kupp go up, Travis Etienne, and Isaiah Pacheco. So a little bit of a run on the running back position already. 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs drafted here in the second round. Whoa. Joe Mixon goes with the next selection, 7th pick in the second round. Then Derrick Henry. Boy, oh boy, there is a huge running back run here. So I'm glad we got Jahmyr Gibbs when James Cook just went. Holy cow. This is shaping up to be, a draft after my own heart. Going really heavy on the running back position. These guys understand the importance of running backs. I wouldn't be shocked, if we're left with guys of, if we're looking at like Ramondre Stevenson at the end of the third, with this thing shaping up this way. Because right now, Rashad White, Alvin Kamara, Josh Jacobs all seem like really good values. But the wide receiver position has kind of been forgotten about. So Pittman, London, Nico Collins just got drafted. Let's pull up the pick history again. So in the second round, I'm going to recap it for you. Jahmyr Gibbs, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua. Devontae Adams going a lot earlier than I'd expect. Age, team, quarterback, question marks. After Puka, it was Travis Etienne, then Pacheco, then Joe Mixon, then Derrick Henry, then James Cook. Huge run on running backs here. Marvin Harrison afterwards, Chris Olave, Nico Collins fall because of that running back run. Achane of the Dolphins goes with the first pick in the third round. I've said it before, he scares me in regards to his efficiency, in regards to the other running backs that are on that squad. Also, just in general, potentially that coaching staff riding a hot hand approach. So he's typically not a guy that I draft unless I've punted on the running back position and I just need a potential home run hitter. But then I truly, truly back up that position because I realize the downfalls that could come with drafting Achane and how you could be disappointed. So after him, it's Laporta and Drake London. I would have loved if Drake London fell to us, but obviously he doesn't. I mean, honestly, he shouldn't have even been available at this point in time at all, in my opinion. But again, the running back run allowed it. And then there you go. Cooper Kupp catapulted all the way to the fourth pick in the third round, followed by Mike Evans. So right now, kind of looking at value picks, or guys, let's just call them guys that I'm targeting. I think, there's a couple of good value picks right now. Pittman, Rashad White, Kamara, Josh Jacobs. One of those guys is there for us. I'd be pretty happy. Then I think it's way too early to select a tight end, way too early to select a quarterback. I realize that if I don't select a tight end now, then probably one isn't going to drop to us. In the ilk of the Dalton Kincaid, the Trey McBride's in the, what would it be, in the fifth round, just because, again, we have that final selection here. So we have to wait a while. But Michael Pittman just got drafted. Okay. So what are we leaning here? I think one of the picks is going to be Josh Jacobs. And then let's look at the wide receiver position. I think we can get some really good value afterwards. So I'm going to pick Josh Jacobs with one of these selections. And then I'm thinking either Rashad White or Alvin Kamara. I like both of them. I think that, they kind of do similar things well. Alvin Kamara, you got to worry about the touchdown upside. But from a full PPR perspective, he's going to catch a lot of passes. I'll go with Rashad White here. I think he's got a little bit less potential vultures there in that backfield. But again, I think you could have been very happy with either running back here. So we went with Rashad White. Our running backs, though, pretty solid. Gibbs, Jacobs, Rashad White. I like that trio here. And then we've got A.J. Brown at wide receiver. So the next couple of picks for us probably going to be at the wide receiver pass catching position. We have our first quarterback off the board, Josh Allen, with the third pick in the fourth round. Again, this is a draft after my own heart because huge running back run, people realizing the importance of running back. Then quarterback, also kind of being patient with the quarterback position with Josh Allen, the first quarterback in the fourth round. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting right there. I think now we're going to see some other quarterbacks start to go that was kind of unlocked, right? So you see it here with Jalen Hurts going 2 picks afterwards. Or actually, Devonta Smith, then Jalen Hurts, then Anthony Richardson. I'd personally be drafting Patrick Mahomes over Anthony Richardson all day, every day. The sample size for Richardson isn't too large. Then Brendan Ayuk. Now let's go back here. Alvin Kamara still being on the board, I think, is criminal. David Montgomery going ahead of Alvin Kamara. Forget about that. Come on now. Let's look at any news. Back tightness. I'm not really worried about that. So now just kind of trying to identify the really good values. They're not going to get back to us. We have 15 picks. This is the tough part about selecting at one of the extremes, right? All these values that you see here, from Metcalf to Kamara to Mahomes to Neighbors, McBride, they're not going to get to us. They will not be there. So just prepare yourself for that. We'll probably have to do some scrolling. we'll be in the like, I don't even think, the Kincaid or Pickens or Higgins will be there for us. So we're probably looking at this range of guys. Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, McLaurin, something like that. But it's okay. We have some time. Malik Neighbors just went. Alvin Kamara just went. So again, like I said, those values are getting scooped up. Sure, the values, those players dropped a little bit, but they're not going to drop another full round. So we're just going to stay patient. We're going to let the draft come to us, and we know that we're good at the running back position. And if a really good tight end comes up, then great. But I imagine, as soon as I was about to say it, I imagine there's going to be a tight end run here very shortly. And wouldn't you know it, with the first pick in the 5th round, you see Trey McBride, which I firmly believe that Dalton Kincaid will be drafted within 5 or 6 picks of Trey McBride. So to me, we might be looking at the wide receiver position instead. Let's see here what we're working with. We don't need running back. Aaron Jones is right now kind of off the board. T. Higgins, George Pickens. I'm hoping one of them falls to us. Yeah, also the fact that Patrick Mahomes went with the 3rd pick in the 5th round is absolutely bonkers. George Pickens just went. Tank Dell went with the 2nd pick in the 5th round. So let's take another look. Mark Andrews just went. I was hoping that, there'd be a little bit of a bigger weight. Ooh, 3 Baltimore Ravens in a row. Andrews, Lamar, and Zay Flowers. We're not going to, I'm holding my breath, but I know it's not going to happen. Kincaid is going to be one of these picks. If he's not, he'd be a smash pick for me. Now, how many picks after Josh Allen did Patrick Mahomes go? So he went, T. Higgins, another guy that I like. Josh Allen went with there goes Dalton Kincaid and T. Higgins. All guys that I was really hoping would fall to us. That's the tough part. That's the tough part of all this, right? Evan Ingram just went. Oh, my God. Wow. And if this is Kyle Pitts here, then our top tight ends are off the board. I think at this point we got to go Kyle Pitts, wide receiver. I like Terry McLaurin. I think he's got a major quarterback upgrade. I also like Christian Kirk, to be honest with you. Do we punt on the running on the tight end position a little bit and just go with Kirk and Terry McLaurin? There goes Zamir White. That's fine. I wasn't targeting him. I'm going Terry McLaurin with one of these picks. And then I'm probably going to go with Kyle Pitts, I think. Let's go with Kyle Pitts. So we got Kyle Pitts here. So we've got a kind of balanced roster, right? Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Kyle Pitts, Rashad White. If Jake Ferguson is still there in 24 picks, then I guess we didn't make the best selection, but I imagine that there's going to be a little bit of a tight end run, and the position is going to get bumped up. Again, let's pull up the pick history. We see Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Swift, C.J. Stroud, George Kittle, Ramondre Stevenson, Aaron Jones, Joe Burrow. At no point was I debating quarterback. I wanted to address like other more important positions with the running backs and the wide receivers and the tight ends. So quarterback will be fine. We'll get in the later rounds. Yeah, there goes Christian Kirk, tremendous value at the 609. Deontay Johnson, another decent pick at the 610. What's wrong with Deontay Johnson? I see a questionable tag on him. Groin isn't practicing. Okay. Doesn't seem to be too serious. So, all right, not too bad. Other things going on here. Let's look at some wide receivers. Yeah, obviously, Christian Kirk went. He was the guy that I was kind of targeting. Keenan Allen at this point in time is a really good value. Marquise Brown's dealing with that. I believe it's a shoulder injury, right? Amari Cooper is also a really good value. I doubt either one of them gets back to us. Ideally, what would have happened in the, let's scroll to it, what was it, in the 6th round, right? No, sorry, in the 5th round, was T. Higgins or Dalton Kincaid dropping to us. And then, yeah, I mean, if I got Dalton Kincaid and Terry McLaurin, I'd feel a little bit better. But it is what it is. I think, kind of looking at our roster, we still don't have like too many weaknesses, too many holes. So I like that aspect of it. We have about, 6 more picks. Jordan Love, Najee Harris, Jonathan Brooks, David Njoku. So, yeah, Jake Ferguson is the last kind of tight end still there. Javonte Williams just went. Some sleepers at the running back position. Brian Robinson. I think Zach Moss is somebody that fits that category. I think that somebody like a Raheem Mostert, Jerome Ford. You guys know how I feel about those guys. I mean, technically, Devin Singletary, starter, right? Now here, let's see what we have. I wouldn't be shocked if the next 2 picks exactly are Coop and Keenan Allen. That would not shock me one bit, especially with one of these guys on auto pick. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to have Zach Moss goes. Ooh, there goes Dak Prescott. Wow, we really lucked out. We need depth. I'm going to Amari Cooper, and then I'm not hesitating. I'm going Keenan Allen. I think that's a really solid pick, for where we're getting him, right? We just got him in the 8th round, and he's a bench piece for us. We don't have to rely on him as a starter. He's not going to be the Keenan Allen of old, right? Let's not pretend like that's going to be the case. But I think in PPR right now, again, he starts on our bench. You could do a lot worse at this point in time. There's going to be certain weeks where he outpaces DJ Moore. And honestly, I don't think it's a given foregone conclusion that DJ Moore is going to be the wide receiver 1 week in and week out and just in general. So keep that in mind. But overall, I think we have like the bulk of our roster here. I think at this point it's going to slow down. We're going to see too many auto picks, kickers, defenses, maybe stuff like that. Quarterback, I'm just going to queue up somebody like a Jaden Daniels. And then what I typically like to do is back him up with a veteran guy like an Aaron Rodgers. So you can kind of pencil in one of those guys for us. And other than that, I'm going to queue up Raheem Mostert, other running backs that I like that I've mentioned. So let's do that. Wide receivers that are still good. Ladd McConkey is somebody that I like. Brian Thomas, Curtis Samuel. So that's kind of how we're looking. I'm going to wrap this thing up here, though, because, again, I feel like we've got the bulk of our roster ready. You guys know what it's looking like at the quarterback position, our strategy there. Pencil in Daniels, pencil in Rodgers, a veteran guy that can still have top 10 upside. But our starters, I think, are really strong, especially for a 12-team league. Gibbs, Jacobs, Brown, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Pitts, Rashad White, Cooper, and Keenan Allen. I think we really lucked out with those last few picks. Let me know your thoughts, though. If you agree, disagree, along with any other questions you guys might have, we'll do our best to answer them all. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. But in the meantime, we'll see you guys in future videos.